Hello, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can you guys hear me? Frankie, can you hear me on the YouTube? I can see you on the Insta. Frankie Bone. Can you guys, Anna, can you hear me? Should be working. Anna, can you hear me on the, are you logged in? I need someone to live commentary mode on. You can hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, so just wanted to check. We've got vocals. Good. Can you put a comment in, see if that works? Wonder why. It's not letting people comment. Oh, it's not gonna flop, is it? Oh, maybe because it's not quite 7. All right. Yo.
We can hear you, mate.
Oh, you can. But there's no comments coming up. Can you see comments?
No, but you're live. Yeah, there's people on.
Yep. Good. So yeah. So can people write comments and ask questions?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
Dom just messaged me. I can hear, but I can't comment.
That's alright. Are you on Instagram?
I'm on Insta and on YouTube. I'm on Insta.
Comment on Insta, so
okay.
All good for
now. Okay, because it's not asking me if I can let them in or anything. So
that's alright. Just I'll go through the back end and you just.
All right. All right. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is our first live stream. So we've got you on Insta and on YouTube. So Frankie's jumping in the back end to see if she can. I know you can hear me, but I can see what you guys are doing. So no funny business, right? I'm watching you. But we just got to somehow work how to get your comments and questions in. But if you can't do it on YouTube, you can jump on the Insta Live and you can definitely do it on there. I can see comments and I can wave to you guys. So you can, yeah, so that's another way to do it. But we'll sort it out. It's our first time, so just relax and enjoy the shenanigans. This is weird for me. So I'll give it another 2 minutes before I do the formal introduction, but this is our first live stream event. It's very weird for me. Just front of an audience. So normally we do this live, but with this live stream shenanigans and see how that works. So people that can't make it can just go live with Mick Claus out, right? Mick's there. Right, so just bear with us a minute or two, and we'll see if Frankie can sort out the comments. This is why we pay her the big bucks. Hey, Mick, I can see you, Mick. There. Yeah, good, mate. So I've got big Mick Claus. So he'll be with us in Sri Lanka, or with about 20 of his mates. Yeah. So we're trying to get the YouTube thing sorted, Mick. Just people having trouble commenting. So
yeah, no, I got onto that, and I saw it wasn't working, so I jumped onto the Insta. That was easy.
Yeah, it is probably easier. But this is kind of a fun way to work it out, and see how we can get this working for everyone. So there's Dougie Pollitt. I'll give him a wave, mate. So don't excuse me. I'm just touching my screen. There's a story with Dougie when we do the Vietnam live stream. I'm going to get you on and tell us about how you fell in the drink, mate, because that's one of the greatest. Get the comments enabled. All right. So much easier without so much easier just having you guys in a bar or something. All right, can't seem to get this going. So it's going to be hard without a bit of engagement. Why would it do that? All right, okay. I'll go 7:04, give it to 7:05, and then I'm off. Cheers. Bit of a glass of motivation. All right. We'll make it at 7:05. So this is our Sri Lanka Nevermind Adventure live stream. It's our very, very, very first live stream event. So bear with us. We can't get the comments working. Hopefully Frankie can sort that out in the background. So you're stuck with me. If you do want to ask questions, you can jump on the Instagram live, and I can see them. I can see the comments coming up there. So, but it's only on my phone. YouTube isn't cooperating with me, but this is what it's all about. We'll work it out. We'll get better at it. Reminds me of our first motorbike tour, which I'll bring up another time. But you got to learn these things somehow. So, like I said, I can see Mick, but I can see all of you. So no monkey business. So just introduce myself, Matt from Nevermind Adventure Tours. I'll, for the time being, be your tour leader extraordinaire. I have been doing this since 2012. Couple of years on the bench. 2020, 21 for obvious reasons. We won't go into that, but we're back and we're in full swing again, which is fantastic. And just thanks to you guys. I just like to thanks Mick and Dougie and all you guys for coming along and supporting us, helping us get back off the ground. It's it's incredible. I never thought that we'd be here doing this again. So thank you. And Frankie, who I wish she was here with me, but I'm based down in a place called Conowari. You can Google Maps that. And Frankie's up in Brunswick Heads near Byron Bay. So we're not in the same room, but both of us, if you book a tour with us or you're on a tour with us, you'll get to know us very well. So Frankie's been with Nevermind since, I reckon, 2015. And there's another Nevermind story, which if you want to know that one, you're going to have to book a tour. So we'll fill you in on that. But it's not your traditional job interview type scenario, put it that way. So why live stream? We're getting a lot of comments that people are sick of getting emails. I know my inbox is just full of stuff that I can't work out what's open in the morning. So this is a way that you guys can just jump on, and once we get the comments enabled, you'll be able to just ask questions. the idea is to do this maybe once a week for an hour or so, and each week we'll do a different tour and talk about that. And it's kind of, people are sick of ads, they're sick of emails, they're sick of podcasts, they're sick of videos. So we've got this up there, and we'll have it scheduled on our website and on our social media. And if you want to join in, you can. If you don't, you can drop in and drop out. You can ask questions as we go. You can participate. So it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, like I said, I'm finding it quite strange talking to a camera and looking at myself. But I can see Mick's actually joined the chat, which is at least I can see I'm not alone. Thanks, Mick. Thanks for keeping me company. So it's raw. Good. It's raw and uncensored. It's scripted. I've got a few notes to talk through just so I don't lose the plot along the way. But that's about it. And I wish you guys jump in and ask questions. If you can't get through and we're not responding, just write them down and email, and we'll get back to you. Like I said, this first one's a bit, suck and see how it goes. So the best question, Frankie's going to watch all the questions. The best question is going to get a free one of these, free t-shirt. This is our Sri Lankan special. So that's the Sigiriya Lion Rock on the back of that t-shirt. Long sleeve, super warm, thermal t-shirt. So ask a really good question, really tough one that makes me sweat, and I'll send you one of them for free. Frankie's the judge, so just in case I miss the questions. So nothing weird either. And we also just... In what?
Can you get them in small text?
Yes. I couldn't quite. Anyway, and also if you just want to buy one, we're doing a special $60 tonight. Just buy it online and put your Sri Lanka Legend is the promo code. So I think they're normally about $80. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough. So you can just jump on the website and just buy one for $60. That includes postage, and any of you guys that have got one, I live in them because I'm in Victoria and it's cold and they keep me warm. So the other thing we're doing, which we're trying to do something a little bit outside the box, is we've got these bikes here for the Great Ocean Road ride. So you can also book a day with us. It's $250. We'll take you down the Great Ocean Road. Frankie's got bikes up in Brunswick Heads if you're up that way, and you can spend a day with us and talk jive, basically. Ask questions, have lunch, all on us. And then if you book a trip, we'll refund the $250. Just a way to cover our costs for the day. So if you don't, we'll keep the $250, and we'll just leave it at that. Whatever. That sort of little things we can do to try and get people over the line. So it's not like it's a big decision. Ruthie's ringing me. John Ruth. Ruthie, I got you on speaker on the live stream, mate. You all right?
Oh, mate, look, I'm trying to get there. Every time I touch the thing, I get linked out somewhere else, so I had to ring you. I'm sorry, mate.
Well, you're on speaker, and you're on you're in. So,
well, if I push FaceTime, am I in?
Oh yeah, you're in now. We can hear you, so you'll be. Look,
okay.
We're having a few technical problems, so the YouTube's working. You can jump on the Nevermind Insta page, and you can just log in like that. So another way to do it.
Hang on, I'll go back to where it was so I can see if
you're
watching you somewhere. YouTube.
You can go to YouTube or Instagram. So that's how we're broadcasting. So.
Hang on, mate. Hang on. I'm sorry. I've got some Swedish girls soccer or something going on here with it.
You've got some Swedish netball team there.
Girls soccer or something.
Okay. Well, anyway, while you're there sorting that out, Ruthie, I'm just going to continue on talking about Sri Lanka. So I'll let you sort that out because
Sorry, mate.
I've got no idea what I'm doing either. So just a bit about me. My name's Matt. Matt Nataneski. Yes, it's Polish, and there may or may not be a Polish motorcycle tour at about 50% of production, but you guys are the first to hear about that. Don't tell anyone. I come from Geelong. I'm an environmental scientist by trade. I've been working construction and mining.
I think you muted yourself.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. I think I was causing some feedback there.
Hang on. I've got to jump out, Ruthie. No, all right. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. I think because Ruthie called, we got muted. Yeah, that was Ruthie's fault, not mine. Don't answer phone calls when you're on Insta Live.
You muted yourself.
Where? No, it's all good now. Yeah. Can you hear me now? So, a bit about me. I'm Matt from Nevermind. I think you can hear me now. Yep. Can you hear me? This is weird. Righto, guys. Sorry about this. All right. Can you hear me?
Wait there. I think you muted the chat.
Fuck.
Frankie's on there.
Yep.
Talking to Hunter. Telling him
Righto.
what to do.
It's because I fucking answered. It's because
What'd you do?
It's because I took that phone call.
Oh. Yeah, you took a phone call.
So it's back on.
Is it back on?
There's a photo of you, but it's muted.
Hang on. And then
Come here.
Well, this is no good. This is not good. All right, guys. I think I'm just going to have to come back.
Can you just end it?
I'm just ending it and coming back.
Frankie just called my number.
are you still going
Yep. No, it's. I think I just started a new one
on YouTube?
on Insta.
You still going on YouTube?
Yep. Is that working?
I might be able to sort out your comments.
Okay. Can you do
Let
that?
me just have a quick suss.
Righto, guys. This is my technical advisor, Hunter. So can you guys hear me now? Cool. It's back. So he's just going to work out our YouTube comments issue. So yeah, sweet. I'm back. Okay. So no, I'm not answering that, Dom. Dom, don't call me because you'll mute me. Frankie, can you message Dom, tell him not to ring? And I'm not taking technical advice off you, Dominic Panizza. All right. So Hunter's sorting that out. So appreciate your patience, guys. So we'll get there. We will, promise. It's messy. It's very messy. Just working through some issues here. Anyway, while we're doing that, we how do we end up in Sri Lanka? And I see Sammy, are you there? Wikramachichi, give us a wave, Sammy, if you're on Insta. Yeah, he must have dropped out. So during COVID, when Nevermind was just a figment of my memories. A young Sri Lankan gentleman. He's there. Wikramachichi, he's there. Right, okay, you can see him. So, Sammy, you can help me out with this story. Just let me know if it gets a bit wild. But so we were working for a construction company down the Bowen Heads Road. So this is how Sri Lanka started and this is how Nevermind got back on its feet, actually, after the the pandemic, as some people call it. So I was sitting there one day in the site hut, and I got back into civil construction, and I was project manager, running this big sort of $130 million job. Sammy will fill you in on the details there. It may or may not be true. But anyway, this young student engineer from Sri Lanka, nice bloke, bit of a loser, comes in, named Sammy, sits down next to me, sets up his computer, and I get talking to him, and he's like, oh, yeah, just moved to Australia, and, just going to uni, and this is my first real job, and and said, my family owns a hotel in Sri Lanka. So this would have been, you got the comment. Thanks, so he said, shut up. But I don't want to swear here. Yeah, nice. But anyway, so no, we just got along really well, and he started telling me about his family business in Sri Lanka, and they had a hotel in a place called Unawatuna on the southwest coast of Sri Lanka. And doing it tough, obviously, because there's not a lot of people traveling. Well, no one was traveling at the time, so the world was just starting to open up. And I said, oh, mate, I might be able to help you out. I used to be in the travel industry before I was a construction legend. And so he said, what do you mean? So I showed him the old website, or, pictures and stuff. So he used to run motorbike tours, it was I was a bit of a big deal back in the day. And he goes, oh, yeah, cool. He goes, you reckon you could bring some customers over and help us out? And I said, yeah, well, you got a cool hotel. And it was right on the beach, showed me photos of it. I was like, oh, my God, I could easy bring people over. So, within a couple of weeks, we bombed out a few emails and spoke to a few people. And next thing you know, we found some motorbikes, and I bought a map, and we had a motorbike tour going. And it was about 20 of us. We went to the Rock Fort Hotel, check it out. So Sammy's family's really good friends of mine now, and Sammy's a big part of my family as well. And we did a first tour in Sri Lanka. It was our first Nevermind tour. Well, it wasn't even a Nevermind tour. It was just a tour we just did for fun back in February last year, and it was incredible. It was so much fun. Everybody loved it. Sri Lanka really turned it on for us. The people were amazing, and the universe just said, please come back, keep doing this stuff. So that's how Sri Lanka kicked off. And Sammy's despite being a bit of a wanker, he's I've really got him to, we've really got him to thank for getting this show back up and running. If I didn't bump into him, I'd be probably stuck building a highway or a tunnel somewhere in outback Australia somewhere. So I'm glad that I'm doing this, and I'm glad you guys are coming along. So for the journey, not sure what's going on with the live chat there, but anyway. So if you have got questions and you're on Insta, just type them out, and me and Frankie will try and address them. Why Sri Lanka? Why would you go there over, say, Thailand or Bali or somewhere like that to ride? And the feedback I get is that Sri Lanka is like Thailand was 30, 40 years ago. It's not busy. It's except sorry, people are joining in. It's surprisingly how good the roads are, and the motorcycle, being an island, is why I like doing motorbike tours in places like Tasmania, Ireland, and Sri Lanka. As far as I'm concerned, you can't beat that type of motorcycle and that type of biking. The diversity you can give people in, a small amount of time. You can be on a tropical beach in the morning swimming, and then by the afternoon you're riding through the clouds in the mountains. And it's unbelievable. Like, it's even here in Victoria, we don't have that. If you're on a beach in the morning, there's no way a couple of hours later you're in the Alps. So that's what I love about it. The food's unreal, but the real highlight is the people. You can't find a better race of human beings. And you know, for those guys that have jumped on here that have been to Sri Lanka or know Sri Lankans, oh, cool, the chat's working. Apparently the YouTube chat's working as well. So, what's the food like? You know, I'm talking about the people because I love Sri Lankan people. They're very different to Indians as well. Like, you know, I love Indians as well. You know, they're an energetic race of human beings. But Sri Lankans are not Indians. And don't ever, Sammy, don't ever call them Indians. You know, that's probably one of the, you know, they're very distinctive race of people, and you know, they might look the same, but they're a much gentler, kinder. Not to say that Indians aren't. Actually, I'm just going to move on from that. But they are funny. Like, their sense of humor is incredible, you know. And like, you probably noticed, I've been poking fun at Sammy the whole way through this. That's what we do. They're similar to us like that. But the food in Sri Lanka is very different. They do have their curries, but they're very different. They're you know, a lot of coconut based stuff, but their seafood is it's what you go there for. Like, it's that, for me, that's the highlight. When you, after a day on the bikes riding through the mountains, you know, you're sweaty, you're dirty, you're hot, and you've had all sorts of cool stuff. You pull in, you crack a cold beer, and then some guy comes in with a bucket of fresh prawns straight off the boat, and you throw them on the barbecue and sit back and just enjoy it. You know, it's like, and big prawns, like the size of, you know, like a chicken, you know, for want of a better analogy. So, all right, okay, we're on the YouTube chat, so that's a better place for questions. So if you want to, beers, okay, we go. Oh, I got you, yeah. Okay, so we've got a funny story for you there, actually. So the beer there is called Lion Lager. It's a really good, easy drinking lager beer, similar to Bintang basically, but it's very hard to find a cold one. But everywhere we go, they know us now, and particularly the Roquefort. I mean, sometimes the Roquefort beers are so cold, we have to defrost them a little bit. Like, there's ice, you know, there's a bit of ice in them. But when we first got there, the first tour, they didn't understand. Like, they didn't want to run the fridges or something. I don't know, but they'd bring out a cold beer and it'd come out of the pantry and be like, "Come on, guys, you can do better than that." But now, man, you get a beer from the Roquefort. We actually had a joke, like Roquefort cold. It was like a beer that just comes straight out of the box. But now when I go there, Sammy's cracked the whip a bit, and they come out like that. So it's good beer. Doesn't make you crook. So they're not big on the craft beers or anything, Wicco. So if you want to go in there and think you're going to find a little Creatures pale ale or something, you know, you're probably going to have to give that shit up for a couple of weeks. But you know, they'll be right. But they do have really good whiskey there called Arak. It's pretty mild, but it's very easy drinking. I think it's probably made out of rice or coconut or something. But yeah, it's like 20%, so it's kind of a cross between wine and whiskey, but they call it whiskey. Can't remember the name of it actually. I think it's called Signature. But we'll anyway, we've got a question here. My question is, where did Nevermind come from? Are you a Sex Pistols fan? Now, I'd love to answer that question, but there's only one way you get an answer to that question, and it's if you are onto it. I only tell that story when we're on a motorbike tour. It's just one of those stories, and that's it. So sorry, Rusty, but I'm pretty sure you are on a motorbike tour with us. I'm pretty sure you are coming to Sri Lanka. So let's save that one, mate. You can hear me anyway. I don't know why I'm typing, so whatever. Any plans for Nepal? Always plans for Nepal, my friend. We've done Nepal many times, but this is about Sri Lanka, so let's keep it to the script. We don't want to get sidetracked here. So you know, let's get the questions going, guys. I'll keep talking a bit of jive. people, food, culture. So Sri Lanka, so culture. So there's kind of three main cultures in Sri Lanka, I guess. There's the Sinhalese, which Sami is Sinhala, so they speak Sinhalese, and it's well, I didn't bring me Sinhalese book, but my favourite words. Well, can I say it, Sami? Sami, can I say it? Amada Hukana. So it's kind of just a nice way to greet people in the morning. How good is the food? The food's great. So, and then you have the Tamils. So obviously back in the day in the 70s, there was a civil war in Sri Lanka, tore the country apart, destroyed the place. It was also a jungle tribe, which has they suspect has been there for much longer, and they don't speak any related languages to the Tamils or the Sinhalese, and still live a traditional lifestyle in the bush. I actually haven't come across them yet, and I feel that maybe we should just leave them be. I've seen videos of YouTubers going out there, and I don't like the idea of bothering those guys. I think, it's kind of like going on the Amazon and disturbing those tribes. I think that's not what we're about. We're there to ride motorbikes, and if we stumble across them, fantastic. But do they have 3-ply, John? Do they have 3-ply toilet paper? Pretty sure that's that. But they do have bidet. The hoses. You can wash your ass with the hose, which is way better than 3-ply anyway. You will never use toilet paper again, mate. You'll install one of these fucking hoses. And when you're just sitting on the toilet on Instagram, you can just spray it all around the room, and it's great. What drone will you be using? Is it waterproof and does it float? No comment. Tell us about the ride from Nurelia to Ngombo, the last day. Okay, that's Frankie. Yeah, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to the day's ride. So that's, I don't want to go, I haven't got time to talk about the whole history of Sri Lanka, and, I think how we got there and what it's all about. So I'll probably just talk a bit about the ride now. Look, Sri Lanka is safe, despite, and I get a lot of questions from people that go to the Australian government, I think it's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade site, fuck those guys. They're about 10 years behind the rest of us. They don't know what's going on anywhere in the world. If they say, travel with caution, they can fuck off, I reckon. I've been going there for years now. I've taken hundreds of people there, and, it's a safer country than Australia. And that's, that's the honest truth. Sri Lankans are not a violent people. There's no interest in. It's only in their best interest to look after tourists, and they're doing a really good job of that. I can tell you that. Riding gear, will it be too hot to wear? So riding gear in Sri Lanka, that's a really good question. So I'll get into that anyway later, but just quickly while the question's there. So in Sri Lanka, you'll get. Most of the days are going to be in the 30s, bit of humidity. We ride in February and October, so October ride's full up this year. February's got maybe 1 or 2 spots left, but it's mostly summer riding conditions. I ride in a pair of Kevlar jeans, and I've got a Kevlar flannelette shirt, which most of the time I take off and I'm riding in a t-shirt or one of these long sleeve shirts, which is, I know it's stupid, but you're really getting over 40, 50, 60 Ks an hour. You're winding around on these country roads with no traffic. I come from a world where that was okay to ride in a t-shirt. So that's up to you. So that's the most part. But then you get up the mountains and it's fucking cold. So you will need to have something you can pull out. So you might start the day in 35 degrees, tropical beaches and humidity, and the last couple of hours might be 4 or 5, 6 degrees as you come into town. You're riding through the clouds. So just good to have those layers. It's nothing, nothing extreme. Even if you did ride in a t-shirt for the whole day, you're not going to die of hypothermia. I've actually done it. So, are all the bikes we ride in Sri Lankan Himalayans? No, we do have a few. We do have a few classic 500s and 350s if that's more your thing. So I'll talk more about the riding conditions. So the traffic's really not something to worry about too much in Sri Lanka, other than the last day when we throw you in it just for fun, because we know you'll be able to handle it then. And we'll ride into the city, and it's not too bad. It's not Delhi, it's not Hanoi, you'll be fine. We ease our way into it, but for 90% of Sri Lanka, we've mapped it out so you don't see a lot of traffic, and when you do, you've got plenty of space, plenty of time to get out of the way. If you can imagine sort of like a single lane road, sealed, weaving its way through the mountains without a lot of traffic and plenty of time to get out of the way. Everything's moving pretty slow, so it's not a major issue there. And until we get confident, and we'll go and find some. Getting sick? Do you get sick in Sri Lanka? No. That's a question we get asked. India happens sometimes. I got sick 2 weeks ago here in Australia. I couldn't get out of bed, so it happens everywhere. But Sri Lanka is not somewhere you need to worry about too much. We drink bottled water. I drink. The hotels will have filtered water. Do what the locals do. Sometimes I reckon we pick up bugs on the plane on the way over, that sort of thing. So, but I haven't had, in the last 2 years, haven't really had any serious shit. I can't think of anyone getting really sick on our Sri Lanka ride, and we eat at all the same places we do on the way through. We know the food's fresh, we know it's good, so and the food is bloody good. At lunches and that, we'll quite often pull into like a little jungle cafe sort of set up, and they'll cook us up some fresh fried rice and noodles, and but my favorite is egg hoppers. They do these things, they're called a little fry pan with a wok, and they make up like a pancake mixture, and they just crack an egg into it, and they fry it up with a bit of oil, and then just serve. You can eat 10 of them. They're just delicious, and they keep you going throughout the day. So look forward to that. Sammy, Sammy's still there. He'll be able to give us some tips on the local food. Like, I know what it is. I don't always know what it's called, but Kotu's a good one. It's like a bread, local bread. Kind of like a naan bread they chop up with fresh chicken. It's like a biryani with some rice and vegetables. It's delicious, But like I said, for me, it's about the seafood there. There's crayfish, the crabs, the fish. So, there is one place we stayed on the East Coast at Batakaloa, Passakuta, and they will cook us seafood. They'll literally bring buckets of seafood up to us, and you can pick it after a day's ride, and they know we've had a tough day. You pick out what you want, and they'll cook it fresh on the barbecue for us. So if you're into that, but there's also, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, plenty of options. Frankie's a vegan, and she seems to manage over there perfectly fine. I can't speak for her, but egg roti. That's a good one to look out for. Thanks, Sammy. And string hoppers, they're everywhere. Thanks. I just needed someone to jog my memory. So they do these beautiful, they're kind of like a noodle thing, like wrapped up. If there's a Sri Lankan restaurant in your town, go and get some. String hoppers are great. And they pour a little bit of curry over the top. And yeah, there's quite a mild curry that they make up in Sri Lanka. So thanks for that, Sammy. Dino, sweet. Yeah. Coconut sambal. Yeah. Beautiful. So, vaccinations, look, controversial topic at the moment. No comment, but yeah, look, no, don't worry about that shit. There's nothing there's no diseases over there that you can't contract here, that as far as I'm aware. I mean, this would be my 6th or 7th trip coming up next month, and I feel great. I think your biggest problem over there is probably coming home with bad habits, drinking and stuff. But no, it's great. It's look, no malaria in Sri Lanka, nothing like that. Not that you can get vaccinated against that, but really nothing. And that's one of the great things about Sri Lanka. A lot of people don't realise is that it's such a fun, safe place to go. But you don't have, you do have all the wildlife, like is incredible. So I'm turning the page on my notes because I wanted to talk about the wildlife in Sri Lanka, because you people don't realise, you've got wild leopard, you've got wild elephants everywhere, you've got the usual stuff, monkeys. You got everything except they may even be Sri Lankan lions there still, but they haven't been spotted in 100 years. But they, a lot of the big animals are still running around there. So, and we have seen leopard in the wild. We daily see elephants on the road and have to dodge them. So, so getting sick's not something to worry about too much. Like I said, the way we roll to you're eating at, reputable establishments. We'll start at the Rock Fort. Those guys always look after us with warm beers and cold showers. And other way around. So yeah, not something that you typically, I have to travel these places for a living, so I don't, I don't want to be getting sick all the time. So, no, that's not something I'm concerned about. Dino's in. And, to do it with Nevermind, I think now we're part of the country. I kind of feel we're, part of their comeback story. They're definitely a big part of our comeback story, and our futures are intertwined, with the local small businesses. As the Rock Fort's one story, but the whole country's full of businesses that we now work with, hotels, cafes, mechanics and all sorts of stuff. So, and we've helped them get back on their feet. They've helped us get back on our feet. It's a great news story. I hope to continue doing this for forever. When we head over, the way we roll too, so just to get into the nitty gritty of is a Nevermind tour for me. You sort of move away from the Sri Lanka stuff a little bit. The way we roll is you don't have to know anyone on the trip. You can just rock up, book it on your own or bring a few mates, whatever. It always works. And there's a few guys I can see on the chat now that have done heaps of trips with us, that have done it on their own. They've met people, then come back and done tours together and stuff, which is great to see. But it's a small group, 10, 12 bikes generally, and we've got a support van. Generally, I'll be up front, or Shahid, or one of City, one of our local guys and we have a van at the back, and we have a sweet rider in between. So I might set a cracking pace, but you don't have to ride with me. You ride at your own pace, and we'll spread out could be over 5 kilometers, and you might feel like you're riding on your own all day. And you can pull up, do what you want. It's just as long as you don't get in front of me. And if I turn a corner, we do what's called corner marking. I'll put someone there, and they'll be waiting for you, and they'll wave you through. And we just take turns at doing that throughout the day. There's not a lot of corners. We're generally on the open, sort of on these roads where we're several hours before we turn off. So it's kind of good. So if you get lost, we have a procedure for that. Pretty much just stop and just relax until we find you. We always know where you are. The one thing we're good at is finding people in foreign countries. I don't think there's anyone still hanging around in the Himalayas anywhere. So yeah, procedure for that. Emergencies, well covered. In the event of that, we've got a support van. We're basically, our support vehicle carries all your luggage. Now, you don't have to carry anything. You don't have to worry about anything. It's always with us. If you have an accident, we're all trained first aiders. We'll get you in that, and we'll get you to a local hospital. And the hospitals, they're most of our doctors are from Sri Lanka and India and places like that anyway. So you don't need to worry about it. They'll be looked after, and we'll be with you. So we have local guys with us as well that help us out if there is an emergency. Well connected. We know where the medical facilities are. We're never too far from anything. So, touch wood, hasn't been a problem yet. But having that van there gives you a good peace of mind that we can sort you out pretty quickly. We do have a travel insurance company that backs us and supports us. So Dom, I can see you're in there. You know, he's dealt with them. I think he'll vouch for them. They came through with the goods. He broke his foot in Vietnam and then had to skip his Sri Lanka tour. And they were really helpful. I think, you know, they had to cross their, you know, had to do their paperwork and all that, but they, you know, they come through with the goods in the end, which I think is what's important. You know, so like I said, another question we get: will I be okay just booking it on my own? I'm, you know, I'm a female, or I'm just a bloke. I don't know anyone. I just want to. You'll have the most fun ever. Like that is the best. You know, just book it, come along with it. By, you know, within half an hour, you're going to have, you know, 10 best mates. So, you know, and like I said, what happens a lot, and I think a lot of these guys that are commenting here now will, you know, will vouch for it. You know, you meet people along the way, and then you end up coming back and doing future trips together on our rides, we hope. So, stories. Oh, okay. So, is there any other questions about Sri Lanka? We covered the food, we covered the culture, we covered the riding style, the bikes, Royal Enfield Himalayans. Look, they've got a few Ks on them now, but they're great bikes. They do the job. We've got a few classic 350s and 500s, if that's your thing as well. Yeah, a little bit old school, but like I said, you don't need anything more than that. They're only going to get you into trouble. So, yes, there's YouTube, yeah. So yeah, I've told you about Sammy, our Sri Lankan friend. You know, so one of my most memorable moments. He was so proud. So that makes it easier as well, because we're very well connected to Sri Lanka. But Sammy's mum and dad and sisters picked us up from the airport. Well, they met us at the airport with a troupe of traditional Sri Lankan dancers. You know, doing backflips and playing drums and stuff. It was incredible. When we went down to the rock fort that night, and when we got up the next day, Sammy had he's discovered Western culture, probably mainly as a result of probably my fault, probably corrupted him, but he discovered Guns N' Roses, and so they've brought in a karaoke machine, and Sammy's introduction to Sri Lanka was not a traditional Sri Lankan song. It was Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle," and Sammy, you did a great job. I'll never forget it. So you want to see a young Sri Lankan bloke? I wish I had a video of it. Someone will have out there. So, but you know, that trip was incredible. We had Big Al. He rode his bike off a cliff deliberately, I think. Yeah, he's a bit of a wild man. You can listen to all those stories on our podcast. So I've interviewed Al on our podcast. He's become a very good friend of mine, despite destroying one of our bikes in Sri Lanka. But you can go into more detail there. But he did actually ride a bike off a cliff on the east coast of Sri Lanka. The five-legged elephant. Frankie, are you able to play videos? I mean, some of you might have seen that. We were in Yala National Park, and there's just a classic video of. So Shahid, our Rajasthani tour leader, and Shahid's been working with us for, well, over 10 years now. I think he said the other day it was 10 years, 5 days, 7 hours and 36 minutes. But he's an incredible bloke and a very good friend of mine. And it was a pleasure to take him to Sri Lanka this year in February. And we took him, and there's a big elephant walking around. He's showing everyone videos, and the elephant had he goes, look, the five-legged elephant. So you can see that on our YouTube channel, but I'll let you guys work it out. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious to see a Rajasthani in Sri Lanka admiring the five-legged elephants. So, there's a story of Kobe and the leech on his balls. One day do you get a few leeches from time to time? I've never had one, but I've had 2 or 3 people have leeches on them, and they'll make you bleed. They won't kill you, but they'll make you bleed. And Kobe, if you're there, no, he's not here. But Kobe was on the October trip, and we pulled up at lunchtime, and he had blood all down the groin of his jeans, and we ripped his pants off, and the joke was he was on his monthly cycle, and kind of funny, I guess, but he had a leech on his balls. We don't know how it got there, so can happen. We had Dan having there, so Dan had a leech, another bloke on the same trip. Might have been just that trip. So if you're on October, you might get a few leeches. And we're in a nightclub. That's a great story as well, actually. There's in Alla, which is one of the most beautiful towns in Sri Lanka. Well, one of the most incredible towns in the world. It's way up in the mountaintops. It's like you're in the Lord of the Rings, like it's amazing. And just a beautiful little, there's only probably 20 or 30 shops, the cafes and bars and stuff. But it's done really well. It's and we stayed there for 2 nights on the tour because it's such a nice place to chill out. Can you get subtitles? My hearing is average at best. Okay, yeah, we'll try that next time, John. Probably won't happen today. But in Alla, there's a cafe there we go to, and we were having dinner that night, a group of us, and there's a French DJ starts playing incredible music. He's playing sitar, the didge, all sorts of stuff. Just a really, really cool, unique DJ with sort of a bit of electronic stuff in the background, and we're eating and we're drinking. We're like, and then we look down, and Dan's got blood all over his leg, and leech. So he goes to the toilets, and just blood all over. It was like a slaughterhouse in there. It was incredible. He must have some kind of hemochromatosis or something where you can't, can't stem the bleeding. So you don't mind my stumbling because I'm reading comments as I'm talking. So anyway, so we sorted him out, and then next minute, Kobe and a few of the other guys on the tour started getting up and dancing. And then a few of us the rest of us got up, and everyone in the restaurant, there'd be 100 people in there. It's quite a big place. Slowly, one by one, we got that whole place up, and everyone was on the dance floor. And it was only sort of 8 p.m. Like it was incredible. I had to go home because I didn't want to get caught up in that shit. I had a big day on the road the next day, so I was like, I'm going to bed. This is getting out of control. So, but apparently the DJ finished about 9:30, and everyone woke up pretty fresh. So, but I wasn't risking it. So yeah, there's a lot of good stories. They're the ones I can tell, because I don't know who's listening. So there's a lot I can't tell, but you'll have to wait till we're on the road. So there's the farmer from Griffith that broke down in tears, the poet. He's on YouTube. So Jace, good friend of ours, actually done. I think he's been on every one of our tours. So just came around the corner one day in Sri Lanka, and we turned off, went through some rice paddies and up into some mountains, and he just broke down in tears. He just goes, "This is the most beautiful place I've ever been." It's just incredible, the emotion. And then he wrote an incredible poem about Nevermind, which you can jump on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and check it out. It's beautiful. So we love him. Yeah. So, I mean, I've made it through an hour despite our technical issues and that. So I think it can only get better from here. That's the good news. The roads, the riding, I'll just run through what I haven't done is actually run through the actual ride itself. So that's what I need to do. So, the first day you'll fly into Colombo. We'll stay in Negombo the night, which is just like quite close to the airport on the coast. Next day we'll all go down to Gaul. Uluwatuna is a couple of hours away on the southwest coast. That's where we'll start the ride. Bikes will be there. And then we'll stay 2 nights there so we can have a look around Uluwatuna. We can, just Gaul is an incredible historic. Like on a global scale, you have to see Gaul Fort, and it's got about 15. It started about 1500s is in its Western history with the Portuguese and that, but it goes way back beyond that. So we had a couple of nights there to have a quick look around, and then we're on the bikes and we'll ride up from there. It's quite we start at the Rockford Hotel, so Sammy's hotel. It's just perfect. They got parking for us. It's a great place to start the ride, and they even get the police involved. They'll get a police escort for us on the way out, won't you, Sammy? Thanks, mate. And then we'll cruise down, head further south, and then up into the Sinharaja National Park. And this place is just beautiful. It's a short ride. Like, we'll be up there. We should pull in about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. That's with plenty of stops. And the first day we don't want to overdo it. But the Sinharaja National Park is the last area of natural wilderness that hasn't been touched by humans in Sri Lanka. So there's areas of forest there that you'll ride through that as they were 2,000 years ago, sort of thing. Sinharaja means Sri Lankan lion. So there's the last place that the Sri Lankan lion was spotted back in, I think it was the 1930s or 40s. So it's a beautiful place. We stay up in the hills. Our hotel managers and owners they're great. They don't get a lot of tourists up there. It's not somewhere you'll see people go, but the ride up's it's just a beautiful way to start the adventure. And then from there, to overnight there, they have a beautiful little massage, like I wouldn't call it a day spa. But built this cave into sort of like a massage room, I guess, which is really cool. You check that out. I rocked up quite hungover this year, and I needed a massage, and it got me through the night. But it was thanks to a couple of Russians that got me on their home brew vodka the night before. Anyway, that's another story. Then the next day we'll head down to the coast again. So it's quite a cruisy day back down. We'll go down to a place called Hiriketia, which is probably fast becoming one of the most famous little beaches in Sri Lanka. So, if you look up Sri Lanka, top 5 beaches, and there's all these people on laptops working on the beach, and that's the place. It's this beautiful little horseshoe shaped beach, just with little shacks selling, seafood and coconut cocktails and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. We won't stay the night there. That we'll leave that for the tourists. We'll pop in there. We'll have some lunch, have a swim. Got a couple of hours to check it out. It's probably enough. You guys like it, you can go back there and hang out. It's a nice place to probably stop for a week or two if you're into that sort of thing. But we're looking for adventure, so we'll get back on the bikes and we'll ride a couple more hours up the road to a place called Tengol. And we've got just as nice a beach, and we'll have it all to ourselves, and with some decent waves rolling in, none of that pussy Hiriketia stuff. And we'll have a swim there and watch the big turtles, logger-nosed turtles swim by, and have a drink at the Cactus Bar right on the beach. And we'll probably be the only ones there. And it's a very special night. So so we'll push on to there, but it's still it's only an hour or two past there. And then the next day, off we go again. So we head into Yala National Park. We'll get there, check in, and then in the afternoon, for those who want to, you don't have to, we'll jump on a jeep safari, and we'll go looking for leopard and wild elephant. Yala is the largest national park in Sri Lanka. You guaranteed, I don't like these cheesy jeep safaris. Like they are what they are, but you're going to see cool stuff. Like Frankie saw 3 live leopard. I was there and she cried. So I saw her crying. I saw the tears rolling down her face, Frankie, didn't I? She denies it, but it's quite nothing quite like seeing a mature live leopard within 5 or 6 meters, just doing its own thing, oblivious to us. And they don't seem to be phased by us taking pictures and stuff like that. So Frankie's trying to say I was crying now. I can see the comment, but no, she got quite emotional. From Yala, and this is one of the best bits, is we ride through there's a road that goes through the national park. We'll ride, that's a sealed road, we'll ride through that. It's sanctioned, we're not doing anything dodgy. You will see some amazing shit. I'm not going to give it away, but some of the best days riding in my life have been riding through that national park, and then we'll climb up all afternoon to Allah. And it's a beautiful twisty ride, and we've mapped out a few tracks. Like, this is where the farmer from Griffith broke down in tears. So, and we'll climb. You're going to be riding past waterfalls, and like I said, you're getting up into Lord of the Rings territory, and we get up to Allah, and it's going to be cold. Not cold. It's sort of teens. 12, 13, 14, 15 degrees. You're going to be rugging up there. And have a cozy 2 nights up there, time to look around. Great place to get a Nevermind tattoo if you want. I got that in Allah. You can see that. I'll pay for it if you get one. That's the deal. But they did a good job. That was last year, actually. So Allah's great. It's one of my favourite places. Food's incredible up there. You'll get a bit of Western food up there if you want a burger. Frankie, what's the name of the cafe where we have dinner up there? She'll put it in the comments anyway. There's a beautiful, I think it's Raw Cafe or something like that. But they do a great job. And then after a day of exploring Allah, the next day is it's probably my second best day's riding, where we just ride. So Allah, as you come down out of Allah, is all the tea plantations. So we're riding through those forests, but then as you come down a bit, these just beautiful tea plantations, and the roads just wind. You're riding along the ridges of the mountains, so just beautiful. The road's a little bit rough, nothing to worry about, not gravel or anything, but there's no rush, and we'd make our way all the way down to the east coast, on the southeast coast, and pop out at a place called Aragon Bay, which is a famous surf place in Sri Lanka. So one night there, tiny little village, great place for a stopover. Stay at the Bay Vista Hotel. They're great. They're probably one of the best meals you'll have. Like, I think the food's fantastic there. Next day, we're up after a swim. The fishermen will have their boats out, and I'm not talking motorboats. These guys is old school, dugout canoes, and with their nets and everything, so you can get out, and that's just incredible sight to see in the morning. There's no rush. We'll have brekkie and then get going. Head up to a place called Passacuda. The ride's fun. It's not, overly taxing or anything. It's just we just follow the coast up. We do take a few detours. We do throw a bit of adventure in there. We pull into Passacuda. I'm not even going to talk about how good that place is. That's a real highlight on the trip. As far as accommodation goes, if Sammy's still there, maybe Sammy, you can put some comments on about where we stay that night. Sammy, that's famous. It's a very famous hotel in Sri Lanka, and we always stay there on the way through. So, Cafe Chill's where we eat and party in Allah. So, but Malu Malu is the one we stay at on the East Coast. So check that out. Then the next day's ride, again, keep going up the East Coast, just a cruisy pace. It's not busy, but it's just you're away. No tourists don't go up there. Like, we're cruising up the northeast coast. It's just stunning. As you come into Trincomalee, there's just kilometres of fishermen drying fish out, and just like it's hard to describe. You can smell it, like just dried fish for kilometres and kilometres, and you can just see, they've got their little market stalls selling their fresh fish and dried fish, and they're drying them in the sun. It gets hotter and drier as you get up there. You're moving away from the swell, so the ocean's flat, but we go. Trincomalee is the largest natural harbour in the world. We'll ride through there. We'll have lunch at a 300-year-old Dutch bank cafe. And then we'll continue after lunch for another hour up the coast to Nilla Valley. And we've got another special spot there that we stay at right on the beach. So a couple of they do beach huts on the beach. The locals always come out for a hit of cricket. There may or may not be some pyrotechnics at some point in the evening, depending on the vibe of who's in the group. But Trincomalee's renowned for fireworks, so we might pick some up on the way through. And then that's, we got the next morning. It's such a good spot to stop over there with the beach huts on the beach and everything. We'll leave a little bit later. When everyone's ready, we'll head down to. It sounds like a hectic trip now I'm talking about. We head down into the guts, into the jungle, right into central Sri Lanka to a place called Sigiriya, Lion Rock. So if you don't know what that is, that's what that is. It's basically that. So it's have a look into it. If you've got any if you've got our emails, you've been on our website, we talk about it a lot. It's a place that's how do you describe it? It's kind of got a bit of a pyramids vibe, like it's a bit mysterious about how it's a big rock in the middle of the jungle, but it's got the remains of an old palace at the top, and some incredible artwork on the way up, and just stuff going on there that doesn't make sense. You'll be scratching your head on the way up, and it's well worth the walk up. It takes about 40 minutes to an hour. It's hard yakka, but when you get up to the top, recovered, you got the best view in Sri Lanka. You're right in the middle of the island, and you can see everything. Like it's amazing. So you can jump on our YouTube videos and see a lot of that, but it doesn't even do it justice. It's that fucking good. So after that, we'll head down to the hotel where we stay again. I don't need to go on, but we stay in some awesome places. And next day we'll continue down. Now this is the best days riding on the trip. It's a big day. It just got everything. We're riding through the jungle in the morning, watching that sunrise up through the jungle, knowing what's ahead of us. For me, is unforgettable. And I know you guys are just going to froth it. And then you get up and you start climbing, and it just keeps going. You just keep going higher and higher. And like you think Allah's pretty high, but as we go, like we get up to sort of not altitude sickness like Himalaya type stuff, but it's hard to believe that you're in Sri Lanka. Like you're riding through the clouds, so jungles and then tea plantations, and you're up in the clouds, and you're like, this is incredible. And then we pull into this, after just like the best days riding ever, we pull into this town called Nuwara Eliya, which was built by the British, again, as a hill station. So they'd moved the capital from Colombo to Nuwara Eliya in the summer because it was too hot for them in Colombo. So there's a lot of it's very European up there. There's a lot of old sort of British style houses and that. It's the lovers' capital of Sri Lanka. So when you have a match on Tinder, you take her up there and show her a good time, or him, whatever, or they. It doesn't really matter. But you go up to Nuwara Eliya, and there's lots of you get a cabin up there and. Anyway, then it's like we're pretty knackered at the end of that day. Like it's a big day, but just like not off road or anything, but just there's roads that you wouldn't be allowed to build here in Australia. Like I'm talking, like S bends that go like that, but on a 45-degree angle, and you just, your pegs are scraping, and you're only in second gear. Like it's like this, and no traffic. It's like. What were they thinking? But then the next day we bring it home. So it's back down out of the mountains and a slow descent, and it gets a little bit busier and a little bit more hectic, and then we let you guys go, in the carnage of Colombo or Negombo. So it's super good fun to pull into the hotel at the end of the trip after. Oh, I will say on the way in so I will introduce our Sri Lankan, and I don't think he's in the chat, but Siddhi that's his name. He works with us over there, so he drives our van, but his family farm is on the way back on the last day, and he typically takes us back for lunch, and his wife will cook for us, and she's an incredible cook too. So, so Siddhi, if you're in there, I can't see you in the chat, but we'll be there next month, mate. So get those prawns, best prawns in anywhere in the world. So yeah, so we'll stop in there to say good day and a bite to eat on the way through, and then shit gets a bit challenging as you come through the big smoke and the hustle and bustle of Negombo, and then we'll pull into the hotel. And what I like to do is first thing is before we do anything, drop our bags, go up to the bar and just get a cold beer and just sort of enjoy what we've been through and have a good laugh. And then that could lead into 2 or whatever, and then we go have showers, clean up, and then we'll have the traditional never mind festivities farewell evening, and then we'll be on the plane the next day or the day after, depending on when you're flying out. So that's about it. Stories, questions, comments, jump in. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for being patient, everyone. It's our first live stream. If you want to see more of them, let us know. Just put something in the comments or email us. If you want cheap one of these Sri Lanka t-shirts, they're $60 with postage. I mean, these things cost me probably more than that. It's long sleeve t-shirts, top quality, printed here in Geelong. I think I can't remember what the code. Can't remember what the code was. What do you call it? The code. Frankie will put it in the comments. I think it was Sri Lankan Legends. Sri Lanka Legends. So put Sri Lanka Legends in the promo code on the website, and Frankie will put a Sri Lanka Legend on checkout. So put that in your code, and $60, and we'll post, and it helps us out. It's well, it won't actually, because I won't make any money on it, but hey, we're getting the word out, so it does help us out. So jump in there. We've also got these. And I'll take my shirt off. Got these ones as well. So if you want one of those, just you can add one of those on as well. Frank, you'll sort that out. So I don't think we've got a promo code for these ones, but they're our winter ones. But whatever. Anyway, it's all good. Who's that? Yeah, Rusty sounds bloody awesome. Can't wait. I can't wait either, mate. It's going to be epic. So we head over there on the 15th of October, ready to go. John, Linda, I can see you're in there. There's quite a few people. Dougie, Mick, and all his mates. And then we've got February, so a few spots for February next year. We'll do a few. We'll try and do one of these from Sri Lanka, I think. If you want to, if you like this and you think it's a good way to get the word out, let us know. We know we've got a good thing, and we're doing, the tours we operate, people keep coming back and telling us how good they are, so that's why we keep doing it. But we've still got to get the message out, and we want to keep doing more of it. So I feel this is a good way to do it, rather than throwing money at ads and emailing people all the time and calling people. So I like it. I've enjoyed it. Once we've got the chat going, I like having the chat going. So it's weird talking into a camera for me with no people around. I like to have people in front of me. So, but I'll get used to it, and I'll get better at it, and we'll get better at it. So Frankie will, next time I think I'll fly her down and she can sit here with me. So there you go. Or we'll do it from Byron. But thanks, guys. Any last questions? Jump in there now. Thanks so much for jumping on and listening to me waffle on for an hour. I can't have been that exciting, but I hope it wasn't boring. I guess what else are you gonna do on a Thursday night? So if there's no final questions or whatever, I'll sign off. Anyone? Sri Lanka legend on checkout if you want a t-shirt. So thanks, guys. We'll call it there. Awesome. And if you want to book, just go to the website, www.nevermindadventure.tours.com.au. Oh, money changing. Mix just asked as last question. So money, Sri Lanka's great like that. It's easy as ATMs in the main tourist centres. So I always say bring $500 Aussie cash just when you're at Tullamarine or Sydney Airport, wherever you're coming from. Just take $500 out of the ATM and keep it in your wallet because, you know, you can change dollars. You know, if you really get stuck, you'll be able to change it. But then just use your ATM. You know, when you get there, take a couple hundred out for your beer money, whatever, and you know, and that'll get you through. So you don't no need for traveller's checks or any of that old school shit. It's very easy. My boys usually carry a fair wad of cash to change on the way as well. They're pretty good like that. If you need to change a few bucks, they've usually got a couple hundred on them that they'll swap for you or whatever. They'll actually, like City, he can organise anything. So, you know, you want beers, wines, money changed. You know, you name it. They can sort it out. It's their job. So, and they're great. I taught them. So, anything else, Mick, while you're there? Accommodations, I think I've spoken about it. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to ruin. Like, I like people going expecting shit accommodation and then getting there going, oh fuck, this is incredible. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, just Google Malu, Maalu. Don't expect that every night, but that's a cool place. So, is the live stream recorded? I'm pretty sure it is. Well, I hope that it is. If it isn't, what we're going to learn, it's our first one, so I'll say it is, but it could be. Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, John just said I did good. Thanks, John. Appreciate the feedback. So thank you, everyone. If you joined late, we'll hopefully it's recorded and you can jump on and watch. You'll be able to read all the comments and answers and stuff. This is quite cool, actually, I think. So John's told me I did a good job, so I'm feeling good. I'll go and have a beer now. Thanks, guys. I think that's all good. We'll call it. And can't wait for October. If you're coming, I'll be there. Frankie's going to be there. City will be there. Shahid's coming, which is unreal because he's our Rajasthani, and he's very special to us. So you're going to enjoy that. Oh, and John Ruth's coming as well. So Ruthie will be there. I don't know if he managed to log in, but he did. He did manage to call me and shut down the whole Insta feed. So thanks, Ruthie. But I haven't seen him in the chat, so we'll see. So, all right, guys, thanks very much. We'll end it there. You can email me, matt@nevermindadventuretours.com.au. The phone number's there on the website. My mobile number's 0437848440. Not that anyone's going to get that anyway, but we're very accessible and can't wait to ride with you all. Thank you very much.